What is the biggest criticism you in particular have with LeBron James? 2011, you talk about that more than anything.
Right, hold on. So let me say this to you then. That logic doesn't work because LeBron James won a championship the year AD came over there. Now put that in your pipes and smoke it. You're done, son. 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 He won the first year him and AD came over. No adjustment time, no adjustment period. And guess what? This is more ether to your sorry ass. Guess what? They had a brand new coach. They had a new coach. So they had a new coach who hadn't won a championship. They just came in front of Vogel. As soon as the day they got AD, they had world championship expectations and they won the chip, sir. So take your L like a man. Do y'all think if Tim would have went and played with T-Mac, how many championships you think he would have won with T-Mac?
Boy.
Well, I can't answer that.
No big badass. Answer the question, big badass. How many championships do you think that T-Mac would? I mean, he would have won with T-Mac. Tim Duncan.
I don't think
somebody asked me.
I don't think he would have. I don't think he would have won as many with Tracy McGrady than he did with San Antonio.
Okay, so hold on. So that means, and I'm glad you said that. Now I know Bob will say something different, but I'm glad you said that. That means Tim Duncan couldn't have been as great and as dominant as you say he was. Because if you put him with another top 10 or top 5 at that time player in the league in the world at that time, and you telling me he couldn't do the same that he did with Ginobili and Parker, that lets me know that Ginobili and Parker need to get way more credit for them winning those championships than what Tim Duncan did. Because I know one thing. I know one thing. If you put the Lakers Shaq with a prime T-Mac, he gonna get you at least 2.
Excuse me. I don't know if that's true, Ticket, because number one, Tracy McGrady had a health issue. Number one, I don't know if that's true. Because
if you would have put a prime Shaq,
no, Ticket, that logic doesn't work. The reason why that logic doesn't work is because now you want to take Shaq and put him with a prime Tracy McGrady. They don't get to grow up together as opposed to him playing with Kobe Bryant and them growing up together and learning each other. I'm not just going to throw Tim Duncan on the floor with a prime Tracy McGrady. We don't know what that's going to look like. He's got to play off of him. He's got to change his game. And that's going to be completely different as opposed to a guy like Kobe Bryant and Shaq where they actually grew up together and learned how to play with each other. I don't think that they would win as much as opposed to that San Antonio team with both Tony Parker and Ginobili, where they actually grew up together and learned each other. Tim Duncan actually changed his game once Tony Parker and Ginobili started to materialize. There's a reason why. I'm going
to cook you right now. That logic doesn't work because Kareem and Magic started winning championships from day one when Magic came in the league. So that logic doesn't work. Also, they didn't need all those years to get that chemistry and get themselves locked in and together. They won from day one when he was a rookie coming in the door. Also, again, when you're great like that, you're supposed to be able to be put together and have expectations. Look at what happened when LeBron James went over to the Miami Heat. They instantly had championship expectations from day one. Look at when Kyrie and KD went over to the Brooklyn Nets. They had championship expectations from day one. So don't give me, Tim Duncan and them needed this, needed that. No, because you put them two dudes at that time, and they're two of the top 5 players in the world. You got champ. I don't give a damn who's a coach. I don't give a damn where we playing at. They got championship expectations, sir, from day one. So that logic don't work with me.
Actually, it does.
But Doc Rivers was the coach.
That's an L Paul, Ron.
Mars, cut it out,
Doc Rivers was the coach.
7 to be an option, Ron. I need 7 to be an option on that Paul. That's an L Paul.
7 for who?
Tim Duncan and Max Sauce.
Actually, the logic does work, Ticket, because you're talking about Magic already coming to a crew that was Magic away from winning. Don't forget, Jamal Wilkes had already been on that crew. Don't forget
Mars
that unit was already.
Okay, Mars said they wouldn't make the playoffs, right?
Okay, well, no, that's not true.
In 77.
They
hold on.
I think they were in the conference finals.
And the year before Magic came in, what happened?
They was in the conference finals in 77, actually. Mars, they missed
the year before Magic came on.
When Jabbar got there, right? Yeah, when Jabbar got there in the 75 tickets. So Ticket, just so you know, the year before Magic got there, Jabbar had been there already for 4 years before he had been there. Every team that they lost to in the playoffs, now I don't know if you know this, Ticket, but every team that they lost to in the playoffs, when they went deep into the playoffs, won the NBA championship. That includes Seattle. That includes the Portland Trailblazers. When they get Magic, they're Magic away from winning the NBA championship. Your logic doesn't work because you're just thinking your logic doesn't work because what you're trying to do is just put Tim Duncan with Tracy McGrady, and this thing is just going to work. Well, we've seen teams.
Hold on.
We've seen
the year before Magic came over there, they won 47 games and got beat.
They was in the playoffs, and they lost to the Seattle. They lost to Seattle, who won the NBA championship. By the way, they were a playoff team. They were a good team. Magic was the difference. He was that thing that they were missing, even though that unit already was together. So Jamal Wilkes was there. Not only was Jamal Wilkes there, Spencer Haywood. All of these guys were already there before Magic showed up. So with that being said, to put Tim Duncan on a crew with Tracy McGrady and just expect it to work, as opposed to him being with Ginobili and Tony Parker for all of those years, which, by the way, he changed his game, which is why they were so good. Tony Parker becoming one of the best, not one of the best scorers, one of the best guards in the game. I mean, he led the league in points in the paint, I believe, like 3 or 4 years. Ginobili being able to stretch the defense like that. So Tim Duncan changes his game. That's why his numbers dropped, where he averaging 18, 19 a game, because he didn't need to be as much of a scorer as he did years before that, because Tony Parker wasn't that guy. Now, all of a sudden, Tony Parker, now Ginobili, and these guys, Michael Finley, these guys are now materializing. So Tim Duncan is changing his game. You're asking Tim Duncan to get on a crew with Tracy McGrady and instantly win it. That's not happening. And then you brought up the idea of LeBron James going to Miami. What is the biggest criticism you in particular have with LeBron James? 2011, you talk about that more than anything.
Right, hold on. So let me say this to you then. That logic doesn't work because LeBron James won a championship the year AD came over there. Now put that in your pipes and smoke it. You're done, son. 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 He won the first year him and AD came over. No adjustment time, no adjustment period. And guess what? This is more ether to your sorry ass. Guess what? They had a brand new coach. They had a new coach. So they had a new coach who hadn't won a championship. They just came in front of Vogel. As soon as the day they got AD, they had world championship expectations and they won the chip, sir. So take your L like a man and walk off and walk away.
That's fair. That's fair.
Got you.
LeBron's the good.
Make sure y'all put that on the short too. I cooked this dude thoroughly on that, and he admitted it. Y'all make sure y'all put that on the short too. We're not gonna hold that out. Like I said, y'all see this body around here? It's called Grill Town. And now it's called Shrill Town because I put his ass out. Like I said, he talking about Tim Duncan and T-Mac. Now think about this though, Bob. 2 top 5 players in the world. You put them together on the same team. They ain't got championship expectations. Come on, man.
I didn't say that they didn't take it. I didn't say that they didn't. No, I did not say that they didn't. What I said was I don't think that they would win as much with. I don't think they would win as much with him as he did with Tony Parker and Ginobili.
Go the year they put together Chilltown. The year they come together. Tim Duncan and T-Mac. That is championship expectations from day one. I'm talking about for however long they playing together.
Right. That part I won't disagree with that part. That part I won't disagree with.
To go with what Mars was saying, I will say this though. It does depend. Are we talking about T-Mac on the Spurs? Or are we talking about Timmy on Orlando? If we talking about T-Mac on the Spurs,
joined Orlando,
okay,
that's 99, 2000 Tim Duncan.
Yeah, we talking about when he was leading the league in scoring.
I'm talking about T-Mac on the Spurs, just to be clear. I'm talking about
we talking about on Orlando. No, we talking about when he was leading the league in Orlando. Because remember, Bob, Tim Duncan almost went over there.
I know.
Listen.
I know that. I'm talking about the same time though. I need T-Mac on the Spurs for me to go with how I want.
No. I'm saying no. Because let me ask you, Bob. So reverse the question. So answer the question Chilltown answered. Then reverse the question and answer what Chilltown answered, Bob. Since you didn't get it right, what we saying is if Tim went over to Orlando with T-Mac, do you expect them to be a championship team?
Yes,
from day one?
They have to be a championship contender just based on talent. Based on having Tim Duncan and Tracy McGrady, they have to be championship contenders. Do they win as many rings as I was gonna say? No.
So. Hold on, but how many years do you think? How many years is it respectable to give them before they need to win a chip if they're together?
I'm giving 3 max. They got to win a ring. They got to win a ring
in 3 years. That's fair.
Well, then Chilltown's logic kind of works. If that's what you're saying, then Chilltown's logic of them need to be together. That does kind of work.
That's why I'm talking about because Ticket, you just talked about LeBron and Anthony Davis, which does work. Those 2 guys got together and they won it instantly. But I think we're talking about 2 different things. The reason why we're talking about 2 different things, James was way further in his career than what Tim Duncan was. Also, Anthony Davis, being the younger guy, he was way further in his career than both Tim Duncan and Tracy McGrady. We're talking about 2 young guys. Tim Duncan in the 99-2000 season, that's year 3. Tracy McGrady, I think he was barely 21 years old. Now, don't get me wrong. I think that we're looking at a championship team if it's built the right way, as opposed to that San Antonio team with Tim Duncan, with Tony Parker, with Ginobili, that they were together for a long time. It was instant. The reason why it wasn't instant, the reason why it worked, because those dudes were together for a long time, and both Tony Parker and Ginobili were able to materialize, as opposed to Tim Duncan and Tracy McGrady both being in their prime, and we just expected to instantly work.
It's the player choice way. Yeah, them boys don't get it started. The player choice way. The player choice way. Come and switch lanes into the player choice way.